So today I wanted to talk to you about structure. It is something that has changed drastically in this last few months, and we are noticing that we have a different relationship to it than we did before. So perhaps we had the kind of relationship to structure where we almost felt like we had no control over it, right? We were just moving through external forces that dictated our day, whether those external forces were, the timing of your kid's school bus, or what your work hours were slated for that week, or when the kids' activities were booked, or when that exercise class was. Like, everything was kind of put in our calendar based on some external force saying, the bus is going to show up at 8:15, so everything has to revolve around that time moment. And those are the sorts of things that have been removed. So we're left sitting in a place, noticing, each of us, how much internal structure we have. Are we getting up at a specific time during the day? Are we going to sleep? Are we eating? How are we moving through our day, given that those external things have been removed? So interesting. Yoga really wants us to not find our fulfillment, to not find our contentment or our happiness with ourselves in external busyness, in external things. We don't want to necessarily be able to give ourselves a big check mark at the end of the day simply because we followed a whole bunch of external prompts telling us when we needed to get stuff done. We want to be able to use time and structure appropriately to help us develop a deeper relationship and a deeper internal structure, so that is the direction we can design our lives to go. And something really, really important is happening right now, in that we are being given the opportunity to design our lives. And when I think about this idea of people returning back to the way things were, I don't want to return back. And I don't know how many of you feel that way. I want to go forward. I want to take everything that has been positive about these last 2 months and move forward more appropriately, so that I am not just jumping into relying on that external structure anymore to carry me through life, but I'm designing the way I move through life. This is fascinating to me because this is what I teach. Like, Ayurveda is about designing your life. Our yoga is about designing your life so that you can tap into your Dharma. That word is life purpose. So they say that karma and dharma go together. You need to take the right action in order to be able to access your life purpose, your dharma. So the right action, the karma, to access your dharma. So 3 things that I want to tell you about this that I think are super important. First thing, external versus internal. Yes, we want to be able to put external prompts, supports in place for us so that we can develop that internal strength. Sometimes that's going to be, I'm going to try and meditate for 2 minutes every day. The external support is your meditation app, or it's your timer on for 2 minutes. It's something that says, this I am going to do, right? The same way we would have as if before it said you have to be somewhere at 9 o'clock. You would have done it whether or not you wanted to. You would have still done it. And now we want to be able to create that ability in ourselves, the capacity to be able to do it whether or not we want to, right? So we want to use external support as much as we need to develop internal strength, internal ability to just do what we know is right, so that we can move forward according to our life purpose. Number 2, there is a tipping point where the external becomes a crutch that we are now leaning on. So think about someone who is on crutches. You want to use that crutch for as long as you need to, for the healing to take place, for yourself to be able to walk still until you can get the use of your own body. And same thing, we want to use any external support, whether it's a prop in a yoga class, or a pill for an issue that we're having, like an antibiotic or a support, a pill, we want to be able to use that pill as a support while we're mending. Maybe it's, I don't know, millions of different things can become a crutch. It can become your coffee, like quite literally. Your coffee, as soon as it becomes not something that you're just doing because you enjoy, but you notice that you can't go on with your day until you have your coffee. It's past the point of being a support for you now. Now it's just a crutch. So just notice those things, right? We need to notice, that's number 2. When the external is no longer supporting you, now you're relying on it, even though the capacity could be within you to not use it, right? When you go on crutches, you're not supposed to go on crutches for the rest of your life. You're supposed to use those as a tool while you develop internal capacity. Same thing. We're supposed to use everything around us as a tool as we develop internal capacity. So third thing, as we are developing this internal capacity, we now have the opportunity to put in the most important things first. So figure out your priorities, right? Ayurveda says your 3 priorities are your sleep, your nourishment, and your energy management. If you can navigate those 3 things well, then everything else falls into place, right? If you've had a good night's sleep, then all of a sudden, yay, like you've got an opportunity that day that you didn't have if you had a crappy sleep. If you have good nourishment in your life, then you've got an extra level of energy to go through your day. So how many of us actually prioritized sleep, right? Made sure that we got enough sleep before. We can put these big blocks of time now into our schedule. We can schedule our sleep. We can schedule our food. We can schedule our energy management. For some of us, that's making sure you go for a walk or be outside every day in the sunshine. For some of you, it's making sure that you, if you're outside gardening or working all day, that you actually give yourself time to rest. It's both, right? You have to both invigorate and move the body, and you have to rest the body. And nourishment. So eat and plan your meals properly. So the biggest thing about that structure I want you to think about is, how can you drop it into your day? How could you create that structure into your own day? Ayurveda would give you some simple tips around ensuring that you eat an earlier, lighter dinner and close your kitchen. Ensuring that you get the decent amount of sleep, 7 to 8 hours, 7 to 9 hours a night, depending on your body type and the needs of your healing at the moment. And having the appropriate amount of water and ensuring that your digestive system is sort of functioning really well. And if you start to work and look at creating structure around those basic things, then we can go to the next layer. Then we can get down to that deeper layer. And that structure starts to create clarity, gives us certainty anchors in our day, gives us a stability that we can rely on. And that stability gives us certainty. And certainty is something that your body finds very healing, very supportive. And when you don't have that, when we as a people, as a world, as a planet, don't have that in the external world right now, create it. Start making it in small ways in your own life. Anyway, I love to talk about this stuff, so please feel free to reach out for a phone call with me if you want some ideas on how to create structure in your life.